Okay, good evening, guys. How are you doing today? Good evening, online. Good evening. Okay, so did you completed Beanstalk? Completed, huh? Fantastic. How about online? Did you completed the practicals? Very nice. How about others? Please take your time and then do it. Okay. So today, let's jump on to the next service. So what do you think? Which service? Huh? How do you know? Guess, huh? Okay, so let us go to next storage services. Okay, so that is S3. In storage services in AWS, the most common and popular storage service is S3 because 99% everyone will use S3. So let us see what is this S3, what are the topics that we have inside it. Okay. Okay. Online, can please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Okay. So what is the full form of S3, Nana? Simple storage service. As I said, this is also a certification question. Sometimes they will ask, what is the full form of S3? So it is simple storage service. So we know little bit already on the S3. In our overview section, we have learned. So let me remind you. So S3 is global or regional? S3 is global. In S3 is what based storage? Object-based storage. S3 is what based storage? Object-based storage. In S3, you can store any kind of files. But is it possible to execute any files? Not possible. So it is not possible to execute any files. So S3 is limited storage or unlimited storage? Unlimited storage. S3 is server-based or serverless? Serverless. So you know this already. So a few things I'll put it here because we already discussed. So number one here, I would say S3 is global, whereas buckets are regional. Buckets are regional. So S3 is object-based storage. S3 is object-based storage. So in S3, you can store any kind of files, but cannot execute. But cannot execute. So S3 is unlimited storage. S3 is serverless. S3 supports static website hosting. S3 support static website hosting. Which is cheaper? EC2 is cheaper, S3 is cheaper. S3 is cheaper than EC2. Okay. And in S3, what do we create? Buckets. What is a bucket? What is a bucket? Yes. Container of objects. What is an object? Yes, object is a file. What is the name of the file? Key. File and the name of the file is key. Do we know this already? Yes. So in EC2, if you launch an EC2 instance in Mumbai region, can you see the same EC2 instance in Ireland region? No, right? So it is regional. So wherever you launch an EC2 instance, it will be in that region only. Is it possible for me to see? Is it possible for me to see all the EC2 instances in one place? Not possible. But whereas here, S3 is global. So that meaning you have only one console. You don't have regions to select. So you have only one console. If you go and create a buckets, you can create the buckets in different regions, and all the buckets will be seen only in one console because it is global. So if you create a bucket one, bucket two, let's say you have created a bucket one, which is in Mumbai region, and you have created a bucket two, which is in Ireland region. Can I see all these two buckets in the same console? Yes, it is possible to see in the same console because S3 is global. So as we are talking about buckets, let's talk a little bit more on the buckets. So we know very well buckets are regional or global. Buckets are regional. And you need to give the name of the bucket, right? When you're creating a bucket, you need to give the name of the bucket. And the name of the bucket should be unique or it is universal. What is that? Unique or universal. What is the meaning of unique or universal? Yes. So you cannot have a duplicate bucket names. But why I'm saying universal meaning, let's say everyone have your own AWS accounts. Everyone have their own AWS accounts. So let's say, for example, Ankit has created in his account, he has created a bucket called test. In my account, is it possible to create test? Or in your account, is it possible to create test? No, because buckets are universal. So someone somewhere in the world have created a bucket name. You cannot create the same bucket name. So that's why bucket names are unique or universal. So then you can have a question, sir, then how do I give the names? So in real time, the naming convention meaning, so whenever you create a bucket, we'll follow the names. In real time, we'll follow project and the bucket name. So project will be unique, no, all the time. So that like that, you can create the multiple buckets. So is it possible to create a buckets like test bucket, my bucket, your bucket? All these things, nasty names, someone have already created it. So bucket names are universal. Or it should be unique. Nana, in IAM, you created groups, no? Is it possible to create group under group? No, no. Here also, bucket you create. Bucket under bucket, can you create it? No. You have a bucket. Let's say bucket, there is bucket called 5:30 p.m. batch. Bucket is there. Is it possible to create another bucket inside it? No. You can create a subfolder inside it. See, bucket is nothing but folder only, no, directory only. But the main one, the parent one, we call it as bucket. Inside the whatever the directories that you are creating, those are all subfolders. Those are all subfolders. You create a bucket, it can be having subfolders. You create another bucket, it can have its own subfolders. But bucket under bucket possible? Not possible. So nested buckets are possible? No. So we cannot create nested buckets. No nested buckets. That meaning bucket under bucket cannot be created. So can you create the buckets in regional, different region? You can create the buckets. You can create the buckets in different regions. You can create the buckets in different regions. So the maximum number of buckets that you can create in your account by default is 100. How many? In your account, maximum how many buckets you can create? So remember that is a soft limit. What limit? Soft limit. Soft limit meaning that is a soft limit provided by the AWS. But can you create a ticket with AWS and increase the number? Possible. Remember we discussed about service quotas. So in service quotas, what will happen? You will give the limit of the resources. Let's say bucket. If you go to S3, you will see the bucket number of buckets is maximum. How many you can create in your account? 100. But if at all you want to increase, if you want 200 buckets, by default, can you create it? No. So what you need to do, you need to create a ticket with the AWS and then ask them to increase from 100 to 200. Then you can create 200 buckets. But by default, maximum is 100. So maximum number of buckets you can create in S3 is how much? 100. So I would say this is a soft. Okay. You created a bucket. Can you tell me by default this bucket is public or private? By default, the buckets are private only because I told you already. Whatever that you are creating, by default in AWS will be private only. So if you are creating the buckets by default, the buckets are private. If required, can you make it public? Possible. So by default, buckets are private. If required, you can make it public using ACLs. What is that, Nana? What is that, Nana? ACLs, Access Control List. What is that? Say that. Access Control List. So we can set up, we can basically, if you ACLs, we will see that in the lab. But here, if you want to make it public, we can make it public using what concept? ACL. What's the full form of ACL? Access Control List. Using this ACLs, you can make it public or you can give access to others. You can do whatever you want on the permissions. Okay, na? Fantastic. Okay, for example, so I created a sample bucket. By default, bucket is public or private? Private. So I create a private bucket, which is in the which region? Mumbai region. Okay. So inside this, I created a subfolder called photos. Inside this, I have uploaded puppy.jpg. What is the file that I have uploaded? What is the object that I have uploaded? Puppy.jpg. Some file. I will give an example, puppy.jpg. So in Google Drive also, whenever you upload any objects inside it, for every object, there will be a URL will be there, no? Yes or no? If you want to share it, you will share the URL, right? So here also, every object in S3 has a URL and we call it as object URL. What URL? Object. So if I want to access puppy.jpg has its own object URL or not? Every object will have its own URL. So here I call it as, you can call it as endpoint or you can call it as object URL. Should I give an example how that URL look like? So it will be like this: https:// let's say this bucket name, I call it as 5:30 p.m. bucket. http:// 5:30 p.m. bucket dot s3 dot ap so -1 dot what was that? Amazon aws.com/photos/puppy.jpg. The URL looks like this, Nana. Okay. There will be a certification question sometimes in it. And by the way, remember, in S3, you will get so many certification questions. You will get more. So please concentrate theoretically a lot because you will get more questions on S3. So you will get the URL like this. Can you tell me by seeing this URL, can you find out what is the bucket name? So this one is called the bucket name. By seeing this URL, can you tell me which service is related to this? S3. This is S3 service. Which region is this? So by seeing this URL, you can easily say that is a Mumbai URL. So this is region. By seeing this URL, can you tell me which cloud provider is this? Amazon. So can I say this is AWS domain? This is AWS domain. And what is photos here? Excellent. What is photo here? Subfolder, but you should not call this as subfolder. Here in S3, you have a separate name for this. We call it as prefix. What is that, Nana? Chitty, what is that, everyone? Very, very important. The subfolders we call in S3 as prefix. What is that? Prefix. And what is this here? .jpg? Suffix. What is that? Suffix. What is that? Suffix. What is this puppy.jpg? Object. What puppy.jpg is this? This is the object. And Chitty, tell me, if you want to access puppy.jpg, you should be able to access photos also, no? If you need to access photos, then only puppy.jpg. Without photos subfolder, can you access puppy.jpg? No. So when you're accessing this, you are accessing this whole, this including photos puppy.jpg, and you call this as a key, name of the file. So this is like a postmortem for this URL. Understood? Clear? So by seeing this URL, not only here, anywhere if you see the URL in the browser also, by easily you should able to understand by this. So this is which bucket, which service, which region, which domain, which subfolder, what is the key, what is the object, everything you should know. Here, important thing is, what is the subfolder called? Prefix. So they will not ask which region is that. In AWS, they will not ask. That is very, very nasty thing. Because we have 37 regions. It's not possible to remember all the codes of it. So, but at least that one, they call it as a region. That's it. So as we are using Mumbai, that's the reason why we can say Mumbai. Okay. Chitty, S3 follows, S3 is a warm model. Warm model. What model? Warm model. Now tell me, in S3, we mainly use for read purpose or write purpose? S3. Read or write? Read only, no? In Google Drive also, we'll put only once and then we always try to read it. S3 also we mainly use for read purpose. For that one, well, that's why I call it as you write once and read many times. Warm model meaning write once, read many. Write once, read many. So this S3 follows this concept. Online Chitties, is it clear, Nana? Clear? Super. Now, let us talk about S3 versioning. What is it, Nana? S3 versioning. Generally, can you tell me? You can download, Nitish. You can download. No need of any conversion. What is that S3 versioning? So what is versioning generally? Version. Update, no? So you have your phone also, right? If you're using iPhone 13, 14, 15 versions. So that meaning whenever you do any updates, new version will be released. So here also we have S3 versioning. So versioning meaning, can I say S3 is like a versioning is like a backup tool? Can we say? I'll give an example. Remember, by default versioning is enabled to S3 bucket. Answer is no. By default, S3 versioning is not enabled for the bucket. I'll tell you what is this versioning. Assume you have enabled the versioning. By default is enabled? No. If you have a requirement, you need to enable it. If you have a requirement, you need to enable it. So let's say, for example, you have enabled the bucket versioning and you have uploaded puppy.jpg. You have uploaded puppy.jpg and you have uploaded 3 times. That meaning how many versions will be created? 3 versions will be created, no? First you upload puppy.jpg, latest version will be there. And once you have uploaded 3 times, how many versions will be there? 3 versions. So total how many? 4 will be there. One is the actual one, the latest one. And how many times you have uploaded? You have those many versions will be there. Let's say Pusuk, someone deleted your object. Can I restore it from your versioning? Yes. Can I restore it from your version? Yes. So in S3, restoring objects is very, very, very easy. So generally, if you want to restore it from the backup, it's very difficult. But here, it's on the spot, you can do it. So by default, S3 versioning is enabled? No. If required, you need to enable. And by the way, you will enable this on bucket level or object level. You will enable the versioning in the on the bucket level or object level? Bucket level. Object level. Let's say you have 10,000 objects. Will you go and enable each and every object versioning? No. So you'll enable on the bucket level, but versioning will be applied to the objects. But enable disable concept can be done on the bucket level. You're getting it? You're getting it? See, now we have uploaded puppy.jpg. Versioning is enabled. You have uploaded puppy.jpg and you uploaded 3 times. How many times? 3 times. First you uploaded version 1. Second you uploaded version 2. Third you have uploaded version 3. So which one is the latest version? Version 3 is the latest version. Okay. Now Pusuk, someone deleted your puppy. Remember, once you delete, someone deleted the object, your original object, for the latest version, a marker will be applied. And that marker is called delete marker. What marker? Delete marker. What marker is that? So versioning is a toggle. You know toggle meaning? Button off, on. Put like on your phone also on off will be there, no? Button. So here also in S3, versioning will be show versions or don't show versions. Toggle on off. It's not about version off, version on. Show. By default, you don't, versioning will not be seen. If you want to see, toggle it, show versions, and all the versions you can see it. Just in case someone delete your original object, what marker is applied? Delete marker. Louder. What marker? What marker? What marker? Delete marker is applied to the latest version. Delete marker is applied to the latest version. Okay. So now, whenever you see delete marker for any of the objects, that meaning your original object is gone. And how you want to restore? A delete marker will be applied. No, delete the delete marker, your object will be restored. In the versioning, delete marker will be applied. No, delete the delete marker, your object will be restored automatically. I'll put it everything in the paint. But do you understand? And for every version, there will be version ID will be there. And that should be unique or not? Yes. Now, okay, now delete marker will be applied for the latest version or for the old version? Latest version. Which one? So if someone delete your object, if you delete the delete marker, automatically your latest version will be restored. Let's say you want to restore version 2 or version 1. If you want to restore version 2 or version 1, is it possible to restore automatically? What you need to do, you need to download it and then upload it back. But which one will be restored automatically? Latest version will be restored automatically. Latest version 1. If you need old versions, what you need to do? Download it and then upload it back. You understand? Should I write all these things here? So can I say versioning is like a backup tool? Versioning is like a backup tool. By default, versioning is enabled or not enabled? By default, versioning is not enabled on the bucket. And versioning is enabled on bucket level, not on bucket level, but applied on object level. Version IDs is always unique or not? Version IDs is always unique. Okay, I'll draw a diagram for you. Assume that this is the bucket. And what's the bucket name? I call it as 5:30 p.m. version bucket. Okay. Assume that I have enabled the versioning is enabled. Versioning is enabled. Now inside this, what is the file? What is the object that I have uploaded? Puppy.jpg. What is the object that I have uploaded? Puppy.jpg. So now this puppy.jpg I have updated. How many times I have updated? 3 times. Version 1, version 2, version 3. Which is the latest version here? Okay. Latest version. So how many times you upload puppy.jpg, those many versions will be created. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Now I have uploaded another file called index.html. So some files, some objects. And this also I have updated. Okay. I call it as version 1, version 2, version 3. Which is the latest version here? Which one? Version. Why only V3? Huh? Because I don't have space. Should I create version 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like this? No, right? As I don't have space, for that reason, version 3 I put it. So what is this here? Latest version is version 3. Now, Chitty, now someone Pusuk deleted your index.html. Someone deleted index.html. Tell me what marker is applied? To which one? To the latest version. So delete marker is applied to the latest version. So once you click on show versioning, delete marker will be there. That meaning your original object is deleted. Whenever you see delete marker, that meaning your original object is gone. Now we want to restore it. How? Select this and delete the delete marker. Automatically, this latest version will be restored. Index.html will be restored. V2 will be restored. Now, what you need to do for that? Download it and then upload it back to S3 if required. Okay, Nana? So if you delete the original object, what marker is applied? Delete marker is applied. So, by the way, versioning files can be downloaded? Yes. Versioning. Versioning files can be downloaded anytime. So I'm writing this concept here. So if you delete, it will be the original object only, no, Nitish? So if you delete the original object, delete marker is applied where? On the latest version. So if you want the object to be restored, what you need to do? Yes. If you want the object to be restored. What you need to do now? Delete the delete marker. Original object will be restored automatically. So if you need old versions, then yes. If you need old versions to be restored, what you need to do? Download and upload back to S3. Is it clear now? So delete marker is applied for the latest version or old version? It's applied only on the latest version, not for old or previous versions. Clear? Is it clear? Any questions still here? Online, is it clear, Nana? Is it possible to download the delete marker? No. Remember, the delete marker cannot be downloaded. It can only be deleted. So delete marker cannot be downloaded. It can only be deleted. So you cannot download delete marker. Delete marker can only be deleted. Okay, na? Now, so as it is clear till here, now let's move on. Assume that I have the versioning is enabled. Now I purposefully went and disabled the versioning. I purposely went and disable the versioning. So remember, yes, correct. Who is that? Nitish, correct. But do we need to worry where it is storing? It will be stored in S3 only, but when you go to the practicals, you will understand. It will show in the console only. Okay. I was talking about versioning, right? Okay. So now you went and purposefully okay, by the way, there was one nasty question in certification. The question was, is it possible to disable the versioning or suspend the versioning? Both are same, no? Is it possible to disable the versioning or suspend the versioning? In our case, actually, it's both are same. But actually, both are same. But actually, in the console, there is no concept of disable. There is a concept of suspend. So if someone asks, is it possible to disable the versioning or suspend the versioning? What you should say? Suspend the versioning. So versioning cannot be disabled. It can only be suspended. Actually, disable, suspend, both are same. But the wording they are using is suspend. So once you have enabled the versioning, you cannot disable it. You can suspend it. Once you have enabled the versioning, you cannot disable it. You can suspend it. Suspend meaning, can I say temporary? Yes, temporarily you can go and disable the versioning. Okay, Nana, see here. Assume that I went and suspended the versioning. Suspended. What I did now? Versioning is suspended. It was enabled. Now what I did, I went and suspended the versioning on the bucket level. Now you tell me, suspended meaning, if you are suspending it, that meaning you don't want backups. Yes or no? If you are suspending meaning, what is the meaning of it? You don't want versions. If once you suspended it and you upload any file and you upload multiple times, versioning will be created? No, right? You went and purposefully suspended. Don't expect restoration. Okay, someone Pusuk deleted the object. Can you restore it? No, because you went and purposefully suspended it. In suspended state, you cannot restore it. Don't expect versionings also. If you upload n number of times also, versions will be created. It will not be created. But can you anytime go and enable the versioning? You can enable it. So here, assume I have uploaded some some Python file. And guys, remember, once the versioning is suspended, after versioning is suspended, you have uploaded the test.py. So latest version will be there, guys. Latest version will be there. In versioning, latest version will be there. Okay. Now, if you Pusuk delete this test.py, can you restore it? Can you restore it? Yes or no? Online, can you restore it? No. But remember, guys, delete marker is applied. Delete marker is applied. But if you tempted and delete the delete marker, restoration will happen? No. So it will not be restored. Restoration will not happen. And if you create n number of times also, versions will be created. Let's say I uploaded 3 times. Any versions will be created? No versions will be created because you have suspended it. So can you restore it? Cannot restore. You understand? So anytime you can enable the version, you can disable or suspend the version. So whenever you suspend it, don't expect any kind of restorations. Okay, I'll ask you one certification question here quickly. Now, what is the state of the version now at the moment? Suspended. For this, we have suspended. Now, the state of the bucket version is suspended. Now, Pusuk, I went and deleted puppy.jpg. Can I restore it? I deleted puppy.jpg. Can I restore it? Online. Answer is yes. Remember, whatever the object that you have uploaded at the time of versioning will get implemented for that. If you suspended it for existing objects, versioning where will be no, that will not be have any impact. Is that clear? So I'll write for you here. If you upload a object after versioning is suspended, the latest version will be created as usual. But if you update the original object, versioning files cannot be created. So if you delete the original object, delete marker is applied. Delete marker is applied. But if you delete the delete marker, can you restore it? If you delete the delete marker, you cannot restore it. Or object cannot restore it. So remember, in suspended state, existing versioning files will not have any impact. Agree? It is permanent until you restore it. It will be there, Nitish. Is it clear, Nana, till here, everyone? Is it clear? Online, is this clear, please? Can I see CC, please? Everyone? Yeah. So S3 is limited storage or unlimited storage? S3 is unlimited storage. But as a part of certifications, so you need to know few minimum and maximum values. So the minimum object size that you can upload to S3 bucket is 0 bytes. What's that? That meaning empty file. Empty file. So that is a certification question. So what is the minimum object size? 0 bytes. And maximum object size is 5 terabyte. One object. How much? Baboon. 5 terabyte. One object. One object maximum size can be how much? 5 terabyte. Now we have a question. Sir, S3 is unlimited storage. No. Why we have minimum maximum values? I'm talking about one object like this. Can we have unlimited number of objects in single bucket? Yes. So that is why S3 bucket is unlimited. But maximum object size can be how much? 5 terabytes. Certification questions. So here, minimum object size, how much? 0 bytes. And maximum object size, how much? 5 terabyte. Of course, I'm saying Nitish maximum size is 5 terabyte. Can your object can be 2 GB, 3 GB, 10 GB, 100 GB, 400 GB, 500 GB, 1000 GB? Yeah, it's up to you, no? Right? It's up to you. But that's the maximum size from AWS, but you can have your own size. But maximum is 5 terabytes. But you cannot set the limitations. If you talk, if let's say you have S3 bucket, I got the point. Let's say you have an S3 bucket, and whatever the object that you're uploading to S3 bucket, let's say you want to restrict the limit. So you need to write a policy for that. So whatever the object that you're uploading, and if the object should be only less than 100 MB or less than something, so you can write a policy, then while uploading, it will check and it will get uploaded. Or Lambda. Sir, if only one version is available in S3, accidentally it was deleted. How delete marker applied for those versions? Was there? Sir, if for that version only, delete marker will be applied. By default, latest version will be there. Jayalakshmi all the time. By default, latest version will be there all the time. So for that latest version, delete marker is applied. Okay, now what is the minimum object size? What is the maximum object size? 5 terabytes. So you can have unlimited number of objects in a single bucket. But is it possible to upload 5 terabyte in one shot? If you want to upload 5 GB only, it will take how many hours? It will take a lot of time, no? But is it possible to upload 5 terabyte in single shot? In single put? Single put meaning upload. In single put, is it possible to upload 5 terabyte? Not possible. So for that reason here, AWS is saying for single put, you can upload maximum up to 5 GB. How much? How much everyone online? How much? 5 GB. 5 GB is a limitation here. In single put, maximum size can be uploaded is 5 GB. But let's say, for example, sir, I have a 20 GB file. So how can I upload 20 GB file? If it is single put is 5 GB. So what you need to do is AWS is giving a feature called MPU. Multi-part upload. What's that? Multi-part upload. What this multi-part upload concept meaning? Let's say you have 50 GB size object. Is it possible to upload 50 GB in one shot? No. What is the maximum size? 5 GB, no? So what you need to do is using this feature called MPU, MPU will help you to break the file into small bits or chunks. A file can be broken into small chunks. And that small chunks will be uploaded to S3 and it will form as a single file. Because 50 GB file in the network, it's heavy to travel. For that reason, this MPU will help you to break the files into small pieces. And those small pieces, you can upload it in the form of MPU. But in S3, it will be uploaded as single file only. But in the network, it will go as a multi-parts. That is why we call it as multi-part upload. Multi-part upload. Is that clear? If 5 TB object is full, how can be 5 TB object will be full? Syed, there is no concept of full here. Let's say you have a movie file. You have a file, some movie file, which is 6 terabyte. Is it possible to upload 6 terabyte file? That is a limitation. The maximum size can be up to how much? 5 terabyte only. You cannot upload 6 terabyte. And there will be a file with 6 terabyte. So for single put, you can upload only maximum how much? Maximum 5 GB. And what is the concept that you want to break it? Multi-part upload. What concept is that? MPU. What does MPU will do? MPU will break the files into multiple chunks, right? And upload it chunk by chunk. And by the way, this one multi-part upload, you cannot do it through console. You need to do it through CLI only. So this has to be done through CLI. It can be done through CLI. And you know how much AWS recommend? If your file is more than 100 MB, how much? More than 100 MB itself, AWS says, Babu, go for MPU. Don't choke the network, right? So AWS recommendation is if you have object greater than 100 MB, go for MPU. Is it clear? What is the minimum object size? 0 bytes. What is the maximum object size? 5 terabyte. For single put, 5 GB. If you want to upload huge file, then what you do? Multi-part upload. In interview, will not understand MPU. Okay, don't say MPU, but what you say, it's a multi-part upload. So do you all understand versioning concept and limits of S3? Online, is this clear, Nana? Chitty online? Single put means, Srikanth, in single shot, how much you are uploading it. That is called single put. Put is nothing but upload. So next important topic is, what is this? Storage classes. Very important. Huh? What does that say that? Storage classes. If you concentrate nicely here, what is the concept is? Storage classes. That means you have multiple types of classes, right? You have multiple type of storage classes. Okay. So let me whenever you're uploading any object to S3, selecting a storage class is mandatory. By default, okay, let's say I'm giving an example. Now customer number 1 came. Customer number 1 came, hey AWS, I want to upload the files. And AWS said, go to S3 and upload the files. And what he did was, he went to S3 and he started uploading the files. And assume that he's paying 10 rupees, for example. 100 rupees, for example. How much? 100 rupees. Customer number 2 also came. Listen this carefully. Customer number 2 also came. And he said, hey, AWS, I want to upload files. Then which service that you suggest? Go to S3 and upload it. Second customer also uploaded. How much first customer is paying? 100 rupees. And he is regularly using it. Frequently he's using it. He's uploading, downloading, he's using, accessing, transfer. So frequently he's using S3. But the second customer, he just uploaded, but he's not frequently using it. First guy is frequently using it. Second guy is not frequently using it. Now tell me, second guy will have a feeling or not? Are bhai, I'm not using that frequently. No, why I need to pay 100 rupees? See, the first customer is frequently making use of it and he's paying 100 rupees. That is fine because he's uploading down, he's regularly using it. Are once in a month I'm using it, why I should pay 100 rupees? He went and complained to AWS. And AWS considered the request and then he formed something called storage classes. So for first customer, AWS came up with a storage called standard frequently access. Which one? Standard frequently access. What is the second one? Standard. Second one. Standard infrequently access. Standard infrequently. You understand the difference? First one is standard frequently access because he is accessing frequently. For that reason, he need to choose which storage class? Standard frequently access. And the second customer will choose the which storage class? Standard infrequently. You understand? But there are super intelligent customers. What they do is they will upload in infrequently. And which one is cheaper now? Infrequently, no. And these customers, intelligent customers, what they do is they will select infrequently, thinking that it will be cheaper, but they are regularly using it. Ulta. You know what will happen for that? AWS will charge double, triple for that. Because for infrequently, retrieval charges apply. In infrequently, once in a month, you need to use. And retrieval charges apply. You upload it. And when you're downloading, when you're using it, when you're retrieving, charges apply. But frequently access charges apply? No. Remember, frequently access, no retrieval charges. Infrequently access, retrieval charges. You got this point? Okay. Now, AWS is double intelligent. No. Okay. Now, there is customer 3 came. Customer 3, number 3 came. And he asked, hey, AWS, I want to upload files. Obviously, AWS said, Babu, now we have 2 storage classes, frequently, infrequently. Choose it. Now AWS asked, hey, customer number 3, you want to use it frequently or infrequently? Customer number 3 said, sir, frequently. Then go for first one. Go for first one. But this customer said, AWS, what? AWS, what? I will use it frequently, but my data is not that critical. You no need to safeguard my data that much. Can you give me discount? Give me discount. See, first customer frequently access. You are storing the data, saving the data. Data is critical. Everything is there. But for me, data is not that critical. If something happen also, it's fine. For this, AWS came up with another storage called reduced redundancy storage. What's that? Remember redundancy? What is redundancy? What is redundancy? Keeping the same data in multiple places, no? So in first frequently access, data is saved in multiple places in 3 availability zones in the backend. But in reduced redundancy storage, data is redundant, sir. No, reduce. That meaning in order to give the discount, what it did AWS? Reduce redundancy. What is the third storage class? Reduce redundancy storage. RRS. Reduce redundancy storage. What is that? Understood? Frequently access, but data not critical. What does that say that? Frequently access, but data not critical. Now, how many storage classes are there? 3 are there. Customer 4 came and say, AWS, yes, I want to upload files. Go to S3. Same concept. So now how many storage classes are there? 3. What are those? Standard frequently, standard infrequently, reduce redundancy storage. So AWS starts, Babu, you want to access frequently or infrequently? And this customer said infrequently. Oh, then go for Second one. Go for second one. And again, this customer said, AWS. Don't lag. I understood your problem. What is your problem? Discount. For that, infrequently, but data not critical. You understand? Infrequently, but data not critical. For this AWS also, AWS, see how much big heart AWS has. AWS again came up with another storage called only one zone IA. What's that? One zone IA. IA meaning infrequently access. One zone. How many availability zones? One zone. Actually three. But your data is S3 serverless, no? If you put the data, all the data will be saved in the backend in data center. Data center meaning what? Availability zones only, no? All the data is stored in the three availability zones in the backend in Mumbai. But here, infrequently, but data not critical. So what is the storage class? One zone. How many zones? One zone IA. What is the storage class name? One zone IA. What is the concept? Infrequently, but data not critical. How many are there now? What are those? Standard frequently, standard infrequently, reduce redundancy, one zone IA. Say that. One zone IA. Say that. Standard frequently meaning frequently access. Infrequently meaning infrequently access. Reduce redundancy meaning frequently data not critical. And one zone IA meaning infrequently data not critical. Four have na? Customer number 5. But this customer number 5 is not talking. He's just watching AWS. Are wo customer, come. He came and he asked, tell me, customer number 5, tell me what you want. I want to upload files in S3. Go to S3. Okay, then AWS asks, frequently and infrequently. That customer is not talking. Hey, customer number 5, tell me, frequently and infrequently. He said, I don't know. Abe oh haule. You want to access it frequently or infrequently? Then he's saying, Abe AWS haule. I don't know. I don't know. So AWS understood. Okay. He's Dr. Bali type. Type. So that customer is saying, I want to put files in S3, but I don't know whether I want to access it frequently. I don't want to access it infrequently. I don't know. He's intelligent. For that reason, AWS again came up with another storage called intelligent tier. What is that? Intelligent tier. Unknown access patterns. Which one? Unknown access patterns. So if you don't know which you want to use frequently or infrequently, then go for unknown access. Which storage class is that? Intelligent tier. Which one? How many are there now? What are those? Standard frequently, standard infrequently, reduce redundancy, one zone IA, intelligent tier. Customer number 6. 6 or 7? 6. And this guy came, hey AWS, I want to put files. Go to S3. But this customer is saying, AWS has frequently, infrequently. This customer clearly said infrequently, but not in a 1 month. I don't want to use it all. Complete andar kar do. Which service is that? Which one? Glacier. Super. What is that? Glacier. So what is the next storage class is that? So if you want to just go dig it and then put it inside. So in Hyderabad, we call kafan pina ke dafan kar do bhai. Right? So if you go ahead and then just completely close it, then go for which storage class? So how many are there now total? Enough. AWS got exhausted now. So at the moment, he has now 7. And also remember, 6 or 7? 6, no. 7th also latestly released. That is Deep Glacier. What is that? Normal glacier. But Deep Glacier meaning your data is where? There. Meaning 1,000 kilometers down. That meaning it's completely archived. So don't expect to retrieve it. It's like you don't want, keep it aside. So these are the storage classes. So do you remember now all the storage classes? See how I am injected in your brains? Let's see here. List down what are those now we have. Standard frequently access, standard infrequently access, reduced redundancy storage, one zone IA, intelligent tier, glacier, deep glacier. If you read 100 times also, will you able to remember? No, right? Now you're able to remember it. Okay. So these are the storage classes and you can expect many certification questions inside this. Okay. Should I write all these things? Yeah. And by the way, while uploading objects into S3, selecting one storage class is mandatory, I said. So which is the default storage class? First one. Which one? Standard frequently access. So write down. So while uploading the objects into S3, selecting a storage class is mandatory. So what is the first one, Nana? Standard frequently access. Shortcut FA. Next, standard infrequently access. Shortcut IA. Next, reduce redundancy storage. Shortcut RRS. Next, one zone IA. Next, intelligent tier. Next, flash. Okay. Next one is deep glacier. So inside this is used for which purpose? Frequently access data. Okay. And which one is the default storage? This is the default storage class. Can I say this is used for regular purpose? This is used for regular purpose. Any retrieval charges apply? No retrieval charges apply. Next. This is used for what purpose? This for infrequently access data. Retrieval charges apply or not? Retrieval charges apply. Cheaper than FA? Cheaper than FA. Next. What is this? Reduce redundancy, meaning frequently access, but not critical. Retrieval charges? Huh? Frequently access, no. So no retrieval charges. And AWS recommend for this? AWS will not recommend for RRS. Not recommended at all. AWS doesn't recommend to use this storage class. Can I say these are all cheaper than others? Cheaper than others. Next is one zone. What is one zone here? Infrequently access, but not critical. Retrieval charges apply or not? Retrieval charges apply. Next here, intelligent tier. Unknown access patterns. In Glacier is infrequently or frequently? Yeah? Infrequently access data. This is for what purpose? Archiving purpose. And by the way, in S3, what do we create? We create what? We create buckets, no? We create buckets. And inside the buckets, what we have? Objects. In Glacier, Vaishnavi, listen this. In Glacier, remember in Glacier, instead of buckets, we should call it as vault. What's that? Vault. What does the vault contain? Archives. What does the vault contain? Archives. What does the bucket contain? Objects. Here, what does the vault contain? What does the vault contain? Archives. And yeah. So guys, you have just a second. You have a quick announcement from Enter.
Hi guys, good evening. I'm Rohit, your lab mentor. The lab facilities are being provided in the third floor. The lab timings are from morning 9 a.m. to evening 7:30 p.m. You can utilize the lab facilities, bring your own laptops. Wi-Fi facility is available. And for online students, the online lab sessions are from morning 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., afternoon 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And for NRI students, it is 6 to 7:30 p.m. Thank you.
Okay. So please try to utilize the lab facility and please utilize the mentors as well. So what do we create in Glacier, Nana? What do we create? Vault. What is that? Vault. Can I say what is vault? Container of archives. Container of archives. And you know, Babu, one archive power. One archive power can be up to 40 terabyte. How much? 40 terabyte. One archive. Like this, you can have unlimited number of archives. How much you have? How much? Archive meaning it's like a object only or it's a zip file. Okay. And then one archive can be up to 40 terabytes. And you can have unlimited number of archives. And like this, you can have 1,000 vaults. How many vaults you can have in Glacier? 1,000 vaults. As it is 1,000 vaults. Now, as it is Glacier, retrieval charges apply or not? Huh? Yes, retrieval charges apply. And also in Glacier, you have something called Glacier retrieval options. Glacier retrieval options. Because if you're putting into the Glacier meaning archive purpose, no? Would you expect to retrieve it again immediately? No. So that meaning you are just archiving it inside it. So once in a while, once in a year, you need to restore it or retrieve it. If you're retrieving it, it will not get immediately. So you have three models here. Number one, we call it as expedited. Say that. Expedited, standard, and bulk. We have three options. If you go for expedited, it will take 1 to 5 minutes to retrieve the data. Standard, 3 to 5 hours. And then if it is bulk, 5 to 12 hours. So based on a requirement, go for it. If you have small data, then which retrieval option that would you choose? Expedited. If you have huge data, go for bulk or standard. Vaishnavi, you understood, Nana? And let's say you are using some data, S3 files are using it. And in which storage class that you have at the moment? What is the default one? Standard frequently is there, no? But later, after 3 months or 6 months, you are not using the data. Would you keep it in frequently access? So can you move it to infrequently? Like this, can you move the objects from one storage class to another storage class? And how many objects are there? Is it possible to move it manually? No. So there is a concept called life cycle management. What's that? So you can manage the object life cycle. So life cycle management, you can create a rules inside it, and using this, you can move the object from one storage class to another storage class. If you want, you can move it. Let's say you have uploaded files today. After 30 days or after 60 days, can you move it infrequently access? Move it. No. Create a rule and select the either full bucket or prefix. What is prefix? Subfolder. Right? So you can move the object from one storage class to another storage class. And for that, you have something called minimum object size. And oh, sorry, by the way, sorry. Here, minimum, what is the minimum object size, Nana, here? How much? 0 bytes. Here, minimum object size is 128 KB. Certification question. How much? How much? Minimum object size is 128 KB. And for one zone also, minimum object is this. Okay. And also we have something called minimum duration. What is that? So minimum duration, if you want to move to standard infrequently, the object should be in S3 for how many days? Minimum 30. If you want to move to infrequently, so the object should be minimum 30 days. After 30 days only, you can move it to the infrequently access. So here also same. And here also same. And for Glacier, it is 90 days. How much? We have another also. Which one is that? Another storage class. Deep Glacier. So for Deep Glacier, minimum duration is 180 days. How much? Clear? Can you tell me what is availability? As I don't have much time now, I'm going for it. Availability meaning anytime. And durability meaning? Yes or no? Durability meaning long time. So for each and everything, we have something concept called availability and durability. So the availability for this storage class is 99.99%. And durability is 99.999999. Did you count it? 11 nines. How much? So that is, so availability meaning anytime. Availability meaning, let's say you went to S3 today and you saw data is there. Early morning you saw data is there. 3 o'clock you saw data is there. Afternoon you saw data is there. So data is there anytime or not? That is called availability. And after 1 year you saw data is there. After 10 years you saw data is there. After 20 years you saw data is there. What is that? Durability. So this is availability, durability for each and every storage class. So here availability 19 is gone here. And here 99.99%. Here availability is gone. And here 99.19 is gone. And here availability is this. Clear enough? So these you will be having certification questions in these areas. Please concentrate. So what is the concept that if you want to move the object from one storage class to another storage class? Huh? Not data lifecycle. Data lifecycle manager concept is in which where? EC2. That is data lifecycle manager. This is lifecycle management. Lifecycle management. So there you need to create something called lifecycle rules. What is that, Nana? Lifecycle rules. So it is possible to move the object from one storage class to another storage class automatically using what concept? LCM, life cycle management. Clear? Enough. You understand today's topic? S3, storage classes are important, and you will get a certification questions a lot here. So you know the difference between all storage classes. I told you with examples. So whenever you read any questions, so you need to select the correct one. Okay, is it clear? Take the screenshots. Okay, and the second one. And the third one. Okay. Super. Can I get the final CC for today, please? CC with smile. Online. Super. Take it, Mahusha. Okay, so that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the next concept of S3. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.